Hello and welcome to the North Bank's instant reaction to a very disappointing, and I'm using inverted commas around disappointing, 2-2 draw at Molineux, which finished about 15-20 minutes ago. When we sit down to do these instant reactions, I have a couple of requirements of myself. I don't want to swear a lot. I don't want to be like overreact and be reactionary and allow fans from other clubs to clip it and have a good old laugh at our expense. I suspect I might struggle to achieve those 2 goals as such this time round. We've got Stef in the ground, a rainy Molineux. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Right, where do I start on that one? I was all set to talk to you, Holly and Chris, about the fact that we were going to be just moving on from what would be a uncomfortable 2-1 win, but as now something else, because we are now, having dropped points at the bottom of the table, Wolverhampton, going to be feeling the repercussions of this for a little while. If we were to put our, minds to it, this was probably a bit more of a banana skin than people would have realised. Terrible conditions, bottom of the table team with nothing to play for. And when we started in those first 8 minutes, I was thinking, here we go, early goal. Saka's playing in a slightly different position, so then it would be, more goals after that. Who knows what would have come from that point of view. But unfortunately, it was like we got the first goal and then just sat back and just kind of kept them at arm's length. The only difference is we then gave them all the confidence that they got into. So then, what? Film it. Leave me alone. We just let them grow in terms of confidence and in terms of building more momentum in the game. They had nothing to lose, okay? So they were able to just grow in confidence, and we just seemed to grow more nervy and lifeless, and it seemed like there was like a lackluster kind of energy to our play, which turned into ultimately, what we saw in the end. And there were players that out dead on their feet, and ultimately we ended up conceding the goal. Why? There's still people in the away end. Why are you trying to move me on? What's the deal? Right, I'm being moved on, so I've got to go. I'm just going to point out the little guard there that is telling me I have to go, even though there's still plenty of fans in the away end, but never mind. Right, we'll pick the bones out of that another time, and I'll speak to you tomorrow, and we'll do a proper North London derby preview. See you later.
Poor Stef. A bit mad that the job's worth moving him on when there's thousands over his shoulder still celebrating the 2-2 draw in the Wolves end. But there you go. It's I can't. I know Steph mentioned it was a bit more of a banana skin than maybe we might have anticipated, but I actually don't think it was. I know the conditions were unfavourable, but I don't think Wolves even played well.
No.
And they're bottom. We were just like, why do we do it? I cannot fathom it. We score and we sit back. And this time we scored in like the 5th bloody minute and we sat back. Why? Martinelli did my head in, and we'll go into that in more detail in the more detailed pod tomorrow. But again, he's missed an absolute sitter. And it would have, at that point, the Wolves crowd weren't up for it. The referee hadn't allowed the game to descend into a bit of a battle at this point. 2-0 at that point, and it was, maybe game over. I say that because we did go 2-0 ultimately, and it was the opposite of game over. But I cannot fathom what we do, and I put to the Patreon group a bit earlier after the game, before we started recording, and I asked, who are we blaming for this? Is it Arteta? Is it individual players? Is it team players? Is it mentality? And we've had the whole plethora of responses. Steph did say in a WhatsApp message that the away end were blaming Arteta, very much blaming Arteta for it. I can't blame Arteta for Martinelli missing the chance against Brentford and missing the chance against today. But when we create so few opportunities, it just heaps so much more pressure on taking those chances, being more clinical, and they'll come back to bite you. And the Wolves equaliser, I mean, I've got some stats and I will go through them tomorrow, but we've conceded 6 goals from outside the area to an XG of 0.04 this season. That's mental. And that's another one, that the goal that got them back into it at 2-1. You know, there's no one. He had an awful lot of space to cut in and have a free hit with his left foot. But once he's hit the ball, you can't blame Raya for that. But the equaliser was a catalogue, a comedy of errors. And the way he shot it went in very fortuitously. But that's what happens when you leave yourself with just a single goal advantage. You're vulnerable to that kind of thing happening. You can't. I mean, we've dropped more points, and in fact, only Palace and West Ham have dropped more points from winning positions than us this season. 8, them 2, and we've dropped 7 points from winning positions. We've now won 3 of our 8 games in 2026 in the Premier League, 2 of our last 7, and the 2 wins in the last 7 were against promoted teams. And now, I'll keep going. Yeah. And now, Man City, it's now in Man City's hands as much as ours. For the first time in months and months. Now, I still think City will drop points, but I'm now going into this North London derby on Sunday thinking, oh, crap. Basically, new manager for them. Their crowd will be absolutely up for it. Although, in some perverse way, they're almost going to be favourites now.
Spurs?
Yeah, they're in a perverse sense, because our heads are gone. Look what happened at the final whistle there. Our heads have gone. You know, we're making mistakes. We're sitting back. We were running the ball into the corner with 10 minutes to go. God, what the hell are we doing? I'm angry. Someone on the Patreon, I can't remember who it was, so even Holly can't put a positive spin on this one. Too bloody right I can't. I need my anger to... After we drop points at Brentford, and when we drop points any point in the season, the Man United defeat and so on, the collective head loss in the fan base is kind of just make your eye roll. You know, it's like... But now, the things I'm reading in the immediate aftermath of that, I'm like, I get it. I get it. I get it. I can't... I've got no defence for that. That was awful today. That was embarrassing. We got exactly what we deserved out of that game, and we've got no one to blame but ourselves. Now, that's the broad blame. Where do you put the focus of this run to the blame as such?
It's so hard, isn't it, to nail it down? And the easiest kind of narrative is going to be that we're feeling the pressure, that we are bottling. You know, this is going to be the narrative now, and I'm sure there are people out there loving this, as probably we would if it was the shoe was on the other foot. But for tonight, it looked like you said earlier, the conditions set themselves up perfectly for a banana skin. Bad weather, a team with nothing to play for, us not on a great run. It was just kind of set up. And even at 2-0, you're thinking, we've got to hold on. Wonder strike. It's, you know, just completely sucked the life out of us, I think, that one goal in particular that they got. So I should point out that I've seen not enough of this game to be over it completely. So I'm here in moral support more than anything else. And, of course, to edit it all once we're finished.
Hold me. Hold me.
Virtually. Virtual hugs.
Yeah. I mean, I made... I don't often do this, but I made notes going through the game, and the letters that have appeared more than any other are FFS. I'm like, oh, the missed opportunity, the lack of urgency, the conceding of the goal, the injuries. I mean, Saka's gone off. It did look precautionary, but he's gone off. Trossard came on, went off again. He got a heavy challenge. I don't know the nature of that, but
he was holding his head, wasn't he?
I think, yeah, he got barged off the. Yeah, he got barged. I mean, it could have been a violent conduct. It certainly should have been a second yellow card for the player, but I'm not for a second blaming a referee for these drop points at all. We are solely responsible for our own narrative at this point. It's just deeply, deeply frustrating, and I've got no confidence going into the North London derby now. Their crowd is going to be like white hot. They're going to be so up for it, and again, a fully functioning Arsenal team should have more than enough to win on Sunday. Do I think for a second that we're going to win on Sunday? Not right now. I don't. There are too many issues with us at the moment. I can't. So many. In fact, I'm going to need a good night's sleep, and I'm going to need a few hours tomorrow to actually process with a clearer head. Perhaps I suspect now I'll still be bloody angry. It's just like
it's immense frustration, at the very least, that we were. I know we were 9 points clear with having played a game more, but mentally we were kind of, as a fan base, we were thinking, this is on.
Yes, we're within touching distance. Yes, and then a combination of City's dramatic late turnaround at Anfield and our two draws at Brentford and Wolves. I mean, look, I'm going to say this and risk the ire of every single Arsenal fan listening to me. I'd still have settled for this position at the start of the season, but I wouldn't have settled for this position a game ago or 2 games ago or 3 games ago. It's all about context, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm out because I did after the Brentford game. I actually meant it. I still would have settled for that position. But I think the fact that we've relinquished control over the title with tonight's drop points, as in if Man City win all their games,
yeah,
they win. They've won the league, regardless what we do. I mean, it's it's frustrating. I've got lots of other things written down, lots of stats written down. But do you know what? I'm going to.
Are you saving it for tomorrow?
Reactions. Yeah, the instant reaction's a vibe reaction, isn't it?
Yeah, I just wanted to alert people to the Patreon because there's a lot of emotion going on in there as well. And the pendulum has swung back to Arsenal bottlers' position, which is what I just said. Now for City to lose to Newcastle and us to beat Spuds, and it can swing over to Arsenal to lose again. And that's George. So yeah, it can.
I've written down George. Yeah,
it can turn on a sixpence, can't it?
Yeah, and George, George has said a couple of other things that made me smile. I've written them down for tomorrow's pod as well. There's a nice mutual support group there this evening, but that was shocking. So yeah, I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm angry more than frustrated in so far as this result has been in the post. I can intellectualise the Brentford draw. Brentford played really well. We got away with the draw. We were lucky, but Wolves didn't even play particularly well. They didn't have to. We were the architects of our own downfall this evening. I mean, I don't understand it. How do you go from leading 2-0 at the bottom club, and not just the bottom club, they've got 8 points all bloody season. How do you conspire to lose, to drop 2 points from that position on the hour mark? I don't get it.
Well,
someone said mentality.
We only just beat them at home, didn't we, as well?
Yeah. 2 own goals. Two own goals. I will leave you with one. With one kind of funny observation I made, and I was just thinking, like, who goes 2-0 up away from home at a relegation threatened team and doesn't win the game? Well, Man City at Spurs a few weeks ago, so it's not just us. That was the best I could come up with. Right. Please put me out of my misery. Tell me I've gone on too long.
You've gone on too long.
Bring this. Thank you. Right. Excellent. All right. Listen. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm sure I've helped nobody in the last 15 minutes of recording, but I feel everyone's pain and frustration, and I'm suffering too this evening. And we shall touch base again tomorrow at some point for a more in-depth, a more logical and methodical and measured response to this evening's game, perhaps, and a look ahead to the North London derby on Sunday. In the meantime, I don't know. Be good.
Sleep well. Safe home, Stef.
Yes.
The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app, and find us on your socials at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by the Podcast Company.